Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 Part 60. Up I go to Switzerland after the last video for the second conclusion in Italy circuit experience at Sardegna to be on the windmills and the road track itself. Looks to me because first day of spring to be entered on March 20th because this is going to be a new fresh start of the season as the trees are about to get much more excited and blooming. But of course because after having a two-part conclusion is now being checked on 4 locations on Italy is now being listed as complete. So up I go, enter to be at Deep Forest Raceway for another part in circuit experience that turns out to become an extreme redesigned version of itself to be on the main track. It was used to have a 3.6 kilometers before being turned into as an update in 4.250 kilometers we'll be using with the 2019 Audi R8 LMS Evolution. We'll go for the full course in 3 sectors including a 1-lap attack. Same earnings goes by the gold and all bronze, 1.2 million credits, so here I go, and a reminder to have a 15-second overlay, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos in the later future. So let's get ready to go and proceed to be moving on forward in circuit experience as the video will go on and on. Well, it turns out to becoming much more fantastic that the track itself was now becoming more redesigned. But here we have the first sector is now being turns out to be at turn number 1 that has 14.3 seconds before moving on in turn number 2 as the second sector will be kick up and go enter to have the 2 tunnels by each part of the number of turns is now going updated by having some new part of the challenge. 37.2 seconds, and then just going to go proceed on to sector 3 is 28.6 seconds, which is where the hairpin to be stopped at turn 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 as the final corner. After having 3 sector clear, we're going in to have a 1-lap attack in around a minute 26.8 seconds, which is 1 minute and 27 seconds according to the silver medal position. So gonna have to be ready, and this part of the first turn is gonna be a very good piece of cake. Time for me to get on board, driving the 2019 Audi R8 LMS Evolution. Hood cam to be ready, radar check, and going in onto the first turn. Smoothed in, just gonna keep a good left turn direction. Alright, there we go. Just like old times, new record, go first attempt on the goal. 14.234 seconds. Very good nostalgia ever since from the National B license since the original Gran Turismo game. But in the meantime, because the replay will be included to have the main part of the example. So turn 1 is absolutely to have a very good hairpin is now being listed to have a main course of the example. But after all, because it was Kazuoni Yamaguchi's most favorite personal GT track in every Gran Turismo games. So very good job to have the first part of the replay on turn number 1. Save it for a replay and moving on in sector 2 for 37.2 seconds. After taking turn 1, you might gonna have to go enter to be at turn number 2, 3, 4, and 5 before entered at the first tunnel before coming in at the right turn in turn 6 before going proceed to have a consecutive tricky corners to be entered onto turn 7, 8, and 9, and then stop at turn 10 will be at the left. Turn 11 might be a very good exact landmark to be on the finish line, so better get ready because the old track itself will have to be putting up to have a new part of elevation and same old style to be driving on every part of the corners. Just gonna be careful, pull the brake, and be extra cautious. There's the first tunnel. Gonna have to pull right, braking as necessarily. Okay, looks like gonna have to take that part of the tricky consecutive corners. Handling is gonna be very rough. There goes turn 10. Just gonna give one certain example. Okay, looks like silver level is now being cleared in 37.895 seconds. Okay, after taking the uphill, that should be quite doing some proper braking to go in and out. So let's go for attempt number 2. Steady up, and just gonna detect that right turn, go in. Okay, looks like just gonna make a good proper position. Looks like it's very tough to handle. Okay, sloppy effort. Just gonna try this again on attempt number 2. Boy, looks like it sure does. Might be quite giving some hard time to do some master tricky efforts ever since we've been participating in the Manufacturers Cup for the exhibition series. Only on the forward direction, because that might be quite very possible to see how several GT players are still working on it to become as proud experts of Deep Forest Raceway. But I'm still learning, because it'll have to get through and just going to pull any kinds of different strategy to shape up and do every part of number 2 to turn number 10 as well to see it. Okay, there we go. Just like that. And then looks like still in the silver to be at 0.609 seconds in around 37 seconds. Gonna have to work hard and just gonna have to be much more specific and be well positioned. Now, gonna have to try this again. Attempt number 4. Don't fail me now. Steady up and go for the main turns to be on the low speed and do some proper handling to be well stability. Okay, there we go. Just like that. And just gonna have to go dive down on turn number 9 to be stopped by. Turn 10. Going left. Pretty simple. And just gonna have to keep a good pull on the throttle. Okay, looks like doing well average. Gold record is now going check and achieve. 37.167 seconds is now being listed for the new record. So let's skip the replay by exit out. Just going to go proceed on to sector 3. There we go. Looks like I'm at the number 1 in the friends ranking. Okay, so it turns out that it was used to have a very good, excellent directional position onto the left corner before it turns into a hairpin. So the third sector, when you're entered to be at turn number 12 to 13, will go straight into the tunnel before stop at turn number 14 at the hairpin. So be on the lookout on turn 15 to 18 will be served as the final corner. Looks so pretty tricky and very challenging to go faster onto the high RPM. So I had to be sure and master the hairpin whenever it takes. Okay, there we go. Just going to do this. Pull the gas. Stay together to have a proper position. Very fantastic. Keep a good speed. Don't brake now. Turn 18 is absolutely to have a no braking zone. Alright, successful and going clear to have a gold record in 27.989 seconds. Fantastic. Now, it turns out for only one sector and number 3 is absolutely to go for having a piece of cake. Sector 2, however, it is going to be quite very complicated because mastering each part of the turns is very much more moderate, and intermediate is going to be very challenging to go entered onto the 2 turns when you're entered in the tunnel. So there goes another replay, going place on number 1 in the friends ranking. So here I go. 1 lap attack in about a minute, 26.8 seconds will be mastered for only 1 course ever since on the super license exam. Just to be proven, and just gonna have to go rev up the limit to see how the Audi R8 LMS Evolution turns out to become an updated GT3 class since the 2015 model. Okay, there we go. Gonna have to take that most basic line in and out. Turn 2 coming in. Slow down and be very gentle. Don't slow down, or you might need to pack up with some more speed and more handling. That's sector 1 clear. Go proceed on sector 2. Better be sure to have the second sector is very challenging to be much more handling to go aggressive. Turn 9 clear. Now go for turn 10. Very good. Right at the good balance. Going for the second part of the curve straightaway before entered in turn 11 and 12. Turn 13 will be going enter at the tunnel in the final sector before the hairpin to be stopped at turn 14. Okay, very good. Just like that, and you might gonna have to find a perfect line when you're in the hairpin before going down to have a final turn to go increase the peak of the acceleration. Sprint to the finish, time's ticking. There we go. Looks like it turns out for having a super license to a circuit experience, made it on time in gold in about a minute, 26.354 seconds. Job well done, and I have mastered the full course of Deep Forest Raceway. Ever since from the first Gran Turismo game from 1998, very good excellent moment to have 2 different full courses on 1 lap on the super license and the circuit experience itself. But that's not all, because temporary vehicle will be well chosen to have racing car, especially the Audi R8 LMS Evolution 2019 is now being served as a courtesy vehicle. So time to exit out. Have a 1.2 million credits by having a 48,000 GT credits and driving marathon in about 10.5. Good job, and successful to be as a proud legendary Gran Turismo racer for only 1 legendary track. So, looks like 1 course in Switzerland at Deep Forest is now checked and complete. Time to go France for only 3 courses, and just going to make 1 stop. We'll be doing this part of the video segment. So let's go to Alsace, located in the borders of France and Germany. For this part of the Group 3 car we'll be using again is the Renault Sport R.S.01 GT3 2016 will be at the village layout. 3 sectors as always, including a 1-lap attack. So, I hope this is going to get much more fine detail according to the tab that we might get everything ready up and go for only 3 sectors. We'll be facing up and mastered every part of the corners and elevation. For sector 1, turn 1 is a tight ascending right hand corner. Use the 50M marker board and the green curbstone as your cue to start braking. Here the angle on the surface changes near the apex of the turn, making it easy of the car to lose balance. Make sure to maintain stable and careful control of the car. For turn 3, after the high speed left, start braking using the gate before the corner as your cue, and deaccelerate along with the center line. Here again the surface change on exit, so be careful on the throttle. Move the car to the right side and enter turn 4 driving on the center of the track. Slightly left off the throttle mid-corner and clear the apex. From there, you go flat out as you exit the corner. Alright, let's go proceed on to the first sector, because this part of the map is going to get much more fine example to be driving onto some tight turns with elevation. 42.2 seconds, here I go. First part of the hairpin might be going challenging and do well tricky. Okay, there's turn 1. Just going to slow down and keep a good foot on the throttle. Step on the apex. Going enter to be at the right side of the track to be on the main road. Turn 2 clear. Here comes turn number 3. Steady in. Keep a good mid-engine layout to have an oversteer effect. Just like that. Turn 4 might be quite very much more agile and very stable. But the good news is, 41.893 seconds is now cleared on the first attempt in the goal. That's one sector down, 2 to go. Time to skip a replay and save it as well. Now let's move on in sector 2. Turn 5 is a right angle, right hand turn. Brake using the beginning of the curbstones as your cue, and start accelerating just before the apex to raise your exit speed. For turn 7, brake using the double guardrails on the left as your cue. Pass through the apex of the turn around where the gate is, then make your exit towards the marshal post. Turn 8 is a high-speed corner to the right with a banked surface. After turning in using the 50M marker board as your cue, follow the center line of the track at the partial throttle as you go around. Get on the right side around where the curbstone is on the inside ends, then go flat out up to turn 9. Okay, looks like course map might have a very good exact details to see how it turns out to have a very good partial strategy. Just like Gran Turismo Sport, but this time in GT7 we'll be doing a different part of the same variation and different condition. Okay, let the ghost car go first. Find any curbstones and be on the lookout for any guardrail, including the marshal post. Okay, there we go. Looks like here comes turn number 8. That's where the main detail is about to go right in. Okay, almost good enough, but silver at least. 36.658 seconds. Gonna have to try this again for attempt number 2. It turns out that turn number 9 is absolutely to have a main part after taking the curbstone is very challenging and very much more complicated. But I hope you guys might gonna have to do some more basic when you're mastered in Alsace in the village layout. Okay, just like that. Just gonna go enter to find a perfect line. Have the position in. Pass by in the marshal post. There goes another one to be passed by before take the turn. Okay, very good. Stay on the throttle. Finish line cleared in sector 2. 36.370 seconds is now checked and done. New record in gold. Now gonna have to save a replay after sector 2 is now going double done. So replay saved. 36.5 seconds as a reminder to go hard and make your way onto the gold. Alright folks, looks like the final sector in number 3 goes over the hill, ascending in the first half and descending in the latter half. The change of loads on the front and rear of the car here can make it unstable and will require some careful driving. Enter turn 10 at full throttle, start braking before the apex, and continue to enter the turn 11 hairpin. Keep on the brakes until midway through into the corner to change direction. Once the outer curbstones come into view, open the throttle to accelerate out. Alternately, partially apply the brakes through turn 10 and travel around turn 11 at partial throttle. Moving from the inside curve is to the outside. This technique, however, is difficult to pull off as there is a great chance to lock the brakes and overshoot the turn. There, turn 12 turns into a rapid ascent midway, lift up the throttle before entering. Then operate the throttle carefully in order to avoid losing traction. Once the track goes on the descent, brake in a straight line towards the apex of turn 15. Turn tight around in turn 16, staying along the center line of the track as you go around, while apply the brakes. Once clear, pass through the final corner in turn 17. A straight line, however, You can also go through the turn 15 and 16 chicane while maintaining the partial throttle the whole way without the need to apply the brakes further. Okay then, so looks like the details on Sector 3 is very challenging after going check and cleared on Sector 2. But I hope I can probably have to do this part of the main position right over here. Third hairpin times the charm, third time's the hard effort. Okay, gonna have to slow down without the brakes. Going up the hill. Okay, just like that. Just gonna have to steep on in. Don't lose the traction before enter the chicane. Okay, there we go. Keep a good watchful eye on the time. Goal record is now checked and cleared on the goal. 37.247 seconds. Very good job, and just to be average to be going expert at it on to Sector 3 in the track. So let's skip and save a replay. Number 2 on the French ranking before taking a 1-lap attack. This is it, folks. Looks like 1-lap attack is going to be much more challenging in about a minute. 55.2 seconds. We'll have to give everything what we got. Master the corners with elevation, and be sure to have a clean racing to do some more basic throughout the competition in the Nations Cup and Manufacturers Cup. Let's do this. Apply the brakes on turn number 1. I'll have to go first, and the ghost car will go second. Gonna have to be sure to have the radar will be well surveillance to be on the lookout if I made a mistake. Okay, that's turn 2. Coming down and go for turn 3. Going right. Aim towards turn number 4. Gonna have to deaccelerate and pull the throttle to be on a temporary position. There we go. First sector clear. Moving on in number 2 of the sector. Okay, looks like the ghost car is now making a turn. I'll have to follow it. Pushing through on to turn 6 and 7. Going at turn number 8. Here comes turn number 9 before going enter by the marshal post. Just like that, and then the third sector will be going harder and difficult to be mastered on the hill climb and downhill. Pretty simple and always meant to be more challenging. Okay, just like that, turn 12 and 13 before coming in onto turn 14, 15, and 16. Stop right in, and just gonna have to be at turn number 17. As always, just gonna have to keep pushing without losing any control of the traction. Alright, there you go. I just passed the test in Alsace Village once again. 1 minute, 53.231 seconds. Just like Gran Turismo Sport, and always to be in GT7 is now going possible to have the same perspective. Looks like we truly own the course once again, and a replay just to be saved as an extra. Alright, very good. Looks like 1.2 million credits is now being checked and acquired. Gonna have to collect 48,000 GT credits, but almost there. But that might have a very good, excellent, high valuable earning before going in by almost to be at least 20 million credits. But I cannot believe it. This is going to get much more fine earnings to be taking on for having a road to the big one. Almost to be at 20 million credits, but I'm at 19,505,169 credits. Very good. But Just gonna make sure to have one quick stop before coming up on part 61 in the next video. We'll be at Circuit de Sainte-Croix in Le Mans, which is the title known as the 24 Heures du Mans racetrack. But after all, because circuit experience in Europe is now going full expansion to have some more high valuable earnings. Speaking of which, 2 courses we'll be using with Group 1 race car this time. But I can't wait to get much more excited to have some high valuable earnings, as I'm about to be ready to wrap this up before at the end of the video. So I'll have to be much more fine working to be well progressed, because the daytime is about to get much more brighter as spring season is about to be entered. Man, so many hard work after having a one content video to be uploaded at a time. So just you wait, folks. Part 61 will be coming up as the second part conclusion in France. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video in Gran Turismo 7. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.